Hello class, after a very long time. Today in this class we are going to discuss about the physical instability of emulsion. As we have seen many topics on the emulsion, in today's class we are going to discuss about the physical stability of emulsion. What are the causes by which the physical instability of emulsion will take place and how we can overcome by this, and what are the precautionary measures we have to take so that physical instability should not take place in the emulsion. So there are 5 totally causes by which physical instability will take place. First and foremost important physical instability sign is the flocculation. The second one is creaming. The third one is coalescence. And the fourth one is breaking or cracking of emulsion, we will say. And the fifth one is phase inversion. So these are the physical instability of emulsions. One will be the flocculation, the second will be the creaming, the third will be the coalescence, and the fourth will be the breaking or cracking of emulsion, and the fifth one is phase inversion. Now we will discuss one by one detailedly what are the what it is, how it happens, and what are the measures we have to take to overcome this. So the first one, as I have said, flocculation. I think you are up to it, you are very familiarized with the word flocculation. So flocculation, this is the first and foremost important flocculation. First I will show you the pictorially what happens. See that in this first picture I have shown this is the emulsion, normal emulsion, where we are having the dispersed globules dispersed in a dispersion medium. So this is the normal emulsion, and this here I have shown this, the flocculation has been taken place. You can see that I have shown the aggregation. In flocculation what will happens, the globules, the neighboring globules which is present come close together and form a colonies. Colonies is the key word. It forms a colonies in the external face, not in the internal phase. The dispersed globules or neighboring globules which is present come close together and form the colonies in the external phase. This is the flocculation. And why it happens? It happens due to the difference, or we can say due to the interaction of attraction or repulsion forces, due to the interaction of the forces which is there in the particles. If the attraction force predominates the repulsive force between the particles, the flocculation will takes place. This is how we will say. So now we will see what are the causes by which the flocculation will take place. First and foremost important cause of the flocculation is globule size distribution. Due to uneven globule size distribution of dispersed particle, flocculation may takes place. The second one is charges on the globules. As I had told, flocculation takes place due to the interaction between the particles, due to the interaction between the particle forces I have told. So here the second one is charges on the globules surface. Due to this flocculation will take place. Third one is the viscosity of the dispersion medium. That is the viscosity of the external phase, we can say. Viscosity of the dispersion medium. Now we will see one by one how we can rectify or how we can prevent the instability flocculation. So first I have told flocculation takes place due to the globule size, uneven globule size distribution. So to overcome this, what we have to do? We have to do a size reduction so that we will get a uniformly sized particles. We have to do the size reduction so that we will get the uniformly sized particle. This is one prevention measures. The second one is charges on the globule surface. Charges on the globule surface. Globule surface in the sense that is the charges on the dispersed globules surface. How we can achieve? By the addition of either the electrolytes ionic emulsifying agent. I think you know that we are having different kinds of emulsifying agents, cationic, anionic, non-ionic. Here what type of emulsifying agent we have to add? We have to add ionic type of emulsifying agent we have to add. And the second one is by the addition of electrolytes we can impart the charges onto the surface so that the repulsive force will predominates the attractive force, thereby we can prevent the flocculation. So this is the second how we can prevent. The third point, viscosity of the external phase. Viscosity of the external phase, if we are increasing the viscosity of the external phase, thereby we are preventing the movement of the particles. Thereby we are preventing the movement of the particles. So we have to increase the viscosity of external phase. How? By the addition of thickening agent or by the addition of bodying agent we will say. So we can increase the viscosity of the dispersion medium. So what are the thickening agent? Hydrocolloids and waxes here we are adding as a thickening or bodying agent. So this is the first instability cause, that is the flocculation, how we can prevent. The second I had told, creaming. Creaming means what? Creaming is nothing but here what happens, the globules, concentrated layer of globules will happens. Concentrated layer of globules will takes place either at the top of the emulsion or at the bottom of the emulsion. Here pictorially I have shown this is the normal emulsion. So after settling either at the top of the globules, at the top of the emulsion the concentrated layer of globules will take place, or either at the bottom of the emulsion the concentrated layer of dispersed globules will take place. So how or what is the cause of creaming? The first and most important cause of creaming is due to the difference in density. Due to the difference in density between the internal phase and the external medium, the creaming will take place. How we will come to know that creaming has been taken place? Difference in the color of the creaming layer and the emulsion, we will come to know that the creaming has been taken place. So this is the second point. Then the third, whether it is reversible or irreversible process. It is a reversible process. If creaming has been taken place, with a little agitation, we can redisperse the emulsion. Redisperse in the sense, redisperse the dispersed globules in the dispersion medium. So it is a reversible process. Why it is a reversible process means the sheet, the emulsifying sheet which has been surrounded the dispersed globules has not been broken out. It has been disturbed but not has been broken out. Because of this reason it is a reversible process. So I have told either at the top of the emulsion the creaming will take place, at the bottom. When the creaming will take place at the top, as I had told, the creaming will take place due to the difference in the density. If the density of the internal phase, is lesser than the external phase, creaming will take place at the top of the emulsion. And usually this will take place in oil in water type of emulsion, where water will be the continuous phase. Top creaming will take place. Downwards creaming will take place in water in oil type of emulsion. The best example I can give, the formation of malai bolte hai na, दूध में malai जमना. This is the best example of creaming in emulsion. As I have told, milk is also a creaming. So what are the causes? What are the causes of creaming? Here we can take again this one, Stokes law into the consideration. Stokes law into consideration for creaming. I think you have remembered the Stokes law. redispersibility is equals to diameter, and difference in the densities between the internal phase and the external phase divided by 18 constant viscosity of the dispersion medium with that of the acceleration due to gravity. So this is the equation, redispersibility d square rho minus rho naught g divided by 18 eta 2. So these are the factors which accompanies the creaming, accompanies are due to which creaming will take place. That is due to the diameter of the dispersed globule, due to the difference in the density between the internal and external phase, due to the viscosity in the dispersion medium, and this is the acceleration due to gravity. So first factor, that is the diameter of the globules. If we are reducing the diameter of the globules to the second, that is the 2, we can increasing the fourth factor of the redispersibility. We know that the whatever the factors is present, they are directly related, directly proportional to the redispersibility. So by reducing the dispersed globule size, we can reduces the creaming. So how we can reduce the globule size? By doing homogenization. Don't get confused. There I have told size reduction. There we have to get the size. Here we have to get the diameter, smaller size of the particles. So by doing homogenization of the globule size, we can avoid creaming. The second one is viscosity of the dispersion medium. If we are increasing the viscosity of the dispersion medium, thereby we are reducing the movement of dispersed particles. So how we can achieve? Again by the addition of thickening agent. Here we are adding tragacanth or sodium alginate as a thickening agent. Then if we are making the difference in the densities between the internal phase and the external phase 0, thereby we can reduce the creaming. But we know that the density of water is 1 and oil is less than 1. So always the density of water will be more. So how we have to increase the density of oil? If we are increasing the density of oil, thereby we are having a lesser difference in density between the oil and water. So this can be achieved by the addition of oil soluble substances, that is beta bromonaphthalene and beta bromo foam oil phase into the oil phase, thereby increasing the density of oil phase so that we can make the lesser difference in density between water and oil phase. But this we are using to very lesser extent. So this is about the creaming. Now the third one is the coalescence. Coalescence means what? Coalescence is again nothing but the globules, the dispersed globules fuse together to form a bigger globules. Here what happens? The neighboring globules which is present in the dispersion, which is present in the emulsion, will come close together, fuses, so that it will form a bigger globules. Don't get confused again with the flocculation. There it is forming a colony in the external phase. Here I am saying it forms a bigger globules, not the colonies. It forms a bigger globules. So this is, I have shown the pictorial. This is normal emulsion and this is how the coalescence will take place. So how we will come to know whether the coalescence has been taken place or not? By increasing the globule size. Size of the globules, I have told. The globules come close together to form a bigger globule. So increase in the globule size and decrease in the number of dispersed globules, we can come to know that the coalescence has been taken place in the emulsion. So how, due to what the coalescence will take place? Due to insufficient amount of emulsifying agent. Here what happens? There will be a disruption of emulsifying agent will take place. This is a very significant instability problem of emulsion. To certain extent it is irreversible, we can say. So why means here there will be a disruption of emulsifying agent which has been surrounded by the dispersed globule will get disturbed. So due to what? insufficient amount of emulsifying agent. If we have not added optimum amount of emulsifying agent into the emulsion, the coalescence will take place. Then the second one, altered partitioning of emulsifying agent. Altered partitioning. Partitioning means it has to diffused. Partitioning means from one to other. We know that in emulsion we are having oil phase and the water phase. The emulsifying agent has to go through with both the oil and aqueous phase. So due to altered partitioning of emulsifying agent will take place. Then due to incompatibility between the emulsifying agent. If there is a incompatibility between the emulsifying agent what we have added, due to which also coalescence will also takes place. So this is about the coalescence. Now the fourth one is cracking or baking. Here it is completely destruction. This is a completely irreversible process. If creaming or cracking will takes place, we can't again redisperse and we will get the normal emulsion. If cracking will get, we have to throw the emulsion. So cracking is, here I have shown pictorially, completely separation of oil phase with that of the water. Again a best example, agar दूध फट गया, if a milk, if we have added lemon juice into it to make the cottage, yeah, we can say paneer, there we are getting the breaking of emulsion. So breaking of emulsion, complete separation of oil and water phase. It is a irreversible process. Here what will happen, the emulsifying agent which has been surrounded by the dispersed globules, the sheet of emulsifying agent which has been surrounded the dispersed globule will get destroyed. Because of this reason only it is irreversible process. So this is cracking or breaking of emulsion. Then comes the phase inversion. Phase inversion, as the name itself explains, if we are going to prepare oil in watery emulsion, but the come out is water in oil type of emulsion. So this is about the phase inversion. Due to the insufficient, or if we have not added a phase volume ratio, if it is not correct, if we are preparing oil in watery emulsion, we will get water in oil type of emulsion or vice versa. Why it happens? Due to phase volume ratio. Correction in phase volume ratio will rectify the phase inversion problem. So these all are the about the instability problem. First one is flocculation, creaming, coalescence, cracking or breaking of emulsion. The last one is phase inversion. Hope you have understood all these things. Thank you.